Am I the asshole for declining to go to my half-sister's therapy session? I have a half-sister, Skylar. Throughout our lives, Skylar has consistently blamed my existence for anything that goes wrong for her. No relationship with Dad. Has nothing to do with him being an emotionally crippled cretin, he just must have preferred me. Grew up in a bad part of town? Nothing to do with her parents, it's because my dad couldn't afford to pay child support because he was paying for me. Her mother is a narcissistic witch. Not her mother's fault, my fault because my dad cut her off for my mother, which sent her mother into a depression. I inherited more money than her. My fault for being alive. On and on it goes. Evidently I rarely see her, even though we live in the same city. She contacted me out of the blue a couple of weeks ago and asked me to come to a therapy session with her. Apparently it would be healing for her to talk to me about her feelings about the favoritism I received as the family golden child. I just laughed. I told her I can't spare an hour of my time to be whined at about things that have nothing to do with me, no matter how much she'd like to pretend they do. She said it would be really helpful for her and I said it would be boring for me, so absolutely not, and I hung up. A couple of my friends are saying I was the for not going, since I live so close to her therapist's office. They said I should go and let her get her feelings out because it costs me nothing and clearly she needs it. But I feel like it's a waste of my time to go and get berated for being born. AITA? Not the asshole. Seems like the person Skylar should invite to therapy is the father, and then maybe her mother. You are a younger half-sibling that had nothing to do with this. Not the asshole. I would be tempted to go and tell the truth and ask the therapist to help her explain where it belongs so she can deal with it and move on. But I don't think they'll let you sit there and say a lot. But at this point, what is the benefit of keeping contact? I'ma say nah. She's working on her mental health, but you have a good point. But also you should call her therapist and explain to her you're off, why you're not coming, so her therapist can maybe better help her more. A couple of my friends are saying I was the for not going, since I live so close to her therapist's office. The distance you need to travel is hardly relevant, is it? This is a weird take from your friends. Not the asshole, and I wouldn't get entangled in this person's therapy life issues. Nada. I don't know if it wouldn't cost you nothing. I can't imagine being left unchanged if I have to sit through someone trauma dump her issues for a full hour. Blame or no blame. Not the asshole, you're right, you have better things to do than listen to her whine and blame you. You are not required to take part in someone else's mental health, particularly when you had no part in their current state. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, it might be good for her but it would be bad for you. You would be signing up to get dumped on by her to make her feel good about herself and her blame attitude, and why would anyone do that, especially if you are not actively trying to build a relationship with her? She can explore those feelings whether based in reality or not without having the subject of her ire in front of her. That's what therapists are for. Not the asshole. You already know what this is about. Why would you agree to be her emotional punching bag for an hour? Not the asshole. She just wants to get you trapped in an office and continue to bash and blame you for her own life. Pass. Not the asshole. Stay out of it, don't call her therapist as some are advising. Unless her therapist directly contacts you, just stay out of it. It's a mess that you can't fix. You seem to have no stake in any of it, emotional, financial, legal, etc. It's a vortex, a whirlpool, so don't get sucked in and down. Not the asshole. Going to her therapy session sounds like a total setup. You have no ideas the lies told. Not the asshole for not wanting to go. It doesn't matter if it would help her or not, she isn't entitled to your time. Not the asshole. Do you think the therapist might agree with you? Not the asshole. Personally, I would go to the session and unload exactly how you felt growing up. How she made you feel. and how she blamed you for everything that didn't go right for her, and how it's about time to take personal responsibility and place blame where blame is due. Then call her if this is what she wanted and tell her please don't contact you again since you aren't going to be her scapegoat anymore. Nata, it does cost you something. Your time and your emotional stability. Plus, this is her therapist, not yours. So there are no safeguards to help you if things get too emotional. I would avoid this like the plague. Nah. It does sound like you were favored and that's complex for her to deal with. She's right, your dad should have been paying child support and he should have had a relationship with her if he had the emotional capacity to care for you. It's not your fault your dad sucks, and it's not your responsibility to help her through her emotions though. It's always advisable not to walk into an ambush. Not the asshole. Sounds like an opportunity for you to get emotionally abused. Her mental health is not your problem. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. OP, this feels like a setup. Don't go. Not the asshole, because your half-sister could twist what happens in the session. She would see it the way she wants to. Until there is a breakthrough in her self-awareness about the situation, there is nothing to be gained by either of you. Not the asshole. You said no. Don't engage any further and don't contact the therapist. You don't need to have anything to do with this, and it's cleaner for her and you if you don't. Not the asshole. I would never go into a therapy session with a relative I had a history of conflict with when A, they asked so they could talk about their perceived grievances, and B, it was a therapist they had an ongoing relationship with. It's a setup for her to bitch to you about you. Don't go. Not the asshole. She has done nothing for you to deserve your time in an activity, which will only benefit her and in addition will be frustrating for you. You have way better things to do with your life, as it seems as though you are a functioning human being. Carry on with life and ignore whatever drama she's trying to drag you into, simple because you made the mistake of being born. Nata, you have zero obligation toward anybody blaming you for things outside your control. So you would sit there while she blames you for everything over the years? If she really wanted to move forward or even make amends, I would think a letter would be appropriate. Instead she wants to blame and be validated while doing so. Not the asshole, and it sounds like you don't have much of a relationship with her, so no obligation to waste time on a therapy session you won't get anything out of. Not the asshole. I hate people like this. They blame you for everything and then basically weaponize therapy so that everyone jumps you for defending yourself. Personally, I would go and let her get it all out. When done, turn to her and unload everything she's done to you back onto her. Worst case, it gives her therapist something more to work with. Best case, you both come to an understanding. Not the asshole. You're not responsible for her mental health. Not the asshole, you have no idea what she may blame you for. Don't let her put you into a situation where you may hear accusations you may not anticipate in a venue where she has free rein to vent. You have no idea what she and her therapist have discussed and have no idea if she was even being honest. Not the asshole. Skylar is not your mess to clean up. Based on your comments, I'm going with not the asshole. You've already been through therapy to deal with your shared father's behavior. Joining her therapy session could reopen your own issues. It's up to her to deal with her issues herself the way you did. Not the asshole. Her issues are not your responsibility. Any good therapist can help someone work through things without input from the parties involved. I think it could actually be healthier for her to work through it without you. Regardless, you aren't required to sit through being berated for anything. She can print up a damn photo of you and yell at it if it makes her feel better.